So town and country, a little bit of town, a little bit of country, you take the best of both worlds and just slap it together, and that's Town and Country, Missouri. Now I'm just being funny, but that's kind of what town and country is. That's kind of the idea behind it. Kind of like this upscale country charm, but you're still in the middle of St. Louis County and everything there is to do there. So in this video, I'm talking all about town and country. If you are living here, if you're moving here, if you're just looking for some more information about what it's like to be in this part of West County. So let's get right to it. And hey, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Jacob. So town and country, it's kind of this country charm, but in the middle of St. Louis County. So it's kind of got that country feel without being that far away. And what I mean by that is that you'll sometimes see homes on bigger pieces of land. You'll see the horse pastures, the white fences, really cute little town center. Now, these days, it definitely has been more developed than it was back in the day. I mean, when it was first started, it was a lot of these ranches or homes on big pieces of land, a lot of horse properties, and you'll still see that in town and country. But what I mean is that a lot of the land's been subdivided up. You see much more of these newer built neighborhoods, lots of custom built homes, and a lot of these infill neighborhoods where you've got some small ranches from the 50s and 60s mixed in with a bunch of these huge modern custom built homes. So town and country is a wealthy, higher end suburb of St. Louis, similar to Frontenac and Ladue. It's definitely up there in price too. Don't get me wrong. It's beautiful. It's got a lot to offer, but it's not cheap. You'll usually see the median selling price of homes here anywhere from about $900,000 to $1.1 million. You'll see homes from maybe $500,000, $600,000 for something smaller or maybe more dated, all the way up to $4, $5, $6, $7 million for some of these bigger estates in town and country. It's also a very outdoorsy part of town, which is one of the things I love about it. So there are sidewalks everywhere, bunch of walking trails, parks. Even with all, the new development, there is still a lot of green space. I mean, a lot of these neighborhoods have private backyards, they back to woods, or at least they're on a couple acres, so there's some space between you and the neighbors. So if you kind of like that suburban lifestyle where you're more spread out, more space between you and the neighbors, you will find that in town and country. I mean, Queenie Park is huge. That is probably the biggest and the best park in town and country. It's massive. I mean, you got miles and miles of walking trails. There's lakes back in there. They've also got some of these equestrian facilities for like horse riding events. There's a dog park in Queenie Park. There's also an ice skating rink there too. So Queenie Park, it's got a lot going on. And then Longview Farm is another one. It's on the smaller side compared to Queenie Park, but that's the one that is like right next to the town center. It's like a quick walk away. You'll see the stables, the horse pastures, and then they've got like a trail that kind of goes through the woods. There's a pond back in there. It's beautiful. It's really just the kind of area where if you drive through here on a nice sunny day, you will see a bunch of people outside going for a walk, for a run, taking the kids, taking the dogs for a walk. It's very outdoorsy. Sometimes bigger lots too, so a lot of the neighborhoods will be between 1 and 3 acres. I know that might not sound like a lot, but compared to an area like Clayton or Kirkwood, where things are kind of more close together, you will see homes on 1, 2, and 3 acre lots in town and country. And hey, by the way, if you're moving to town and country or somewhere else in St. Louis, if you want some help with that process, buying a house, condo, whatever it is, feel free, just shoot us an email, shoot us a text if you want. My team and I are practicing real estate agents. We'd love to help you with that. No pressure, totally up to you, but hey, helping our clients reach out from this YouTube channel, by far the best part of the job, and we love town and country. It's a great area. And if you're moving here for work, there are some big employers in town and country. So anyone in medicine, there are a couple big hospitals here. You got St. Luke's, Missouri Baptist, and Mercy. Energizer is headquartered in town and country. Maryville University and Missouri Baptist University are two of the big universities here. And then there are several private high schools in town and country too. Now, town and country kind of has a newer style compared to an area like Ladue. What I mean is that you will see a lot of these newer built homes, luxury communities, and a lot of the new construction in town and country are like these big, beautiful custom homes. You don't see a lot of cheap new construction in town and country. I mean, anything from like 2 million to the multiple millions, 5, 6, 7 million. You see a bunch of these beautiful homes in town and country. Now with that, like I said, you do see some of these infill neighborhoods. So the whole tear down trend is very common in town and country. And what you'll usually see is an older ranch or a split level available from the 60s, 70s on a 1, 2, or 3 acre lot, and people will buy it up, tear it down, and then go in with a 8,000, 10,000, 12,000 square foot house. And that's kind of something that the city's tried to combat a little bit. So they have had a couple new ordinances in the last couple of years to just get a little bit stricter with things like setback requirements, offset requirements, floor area, green space. Basically, anyone building a house in Town and Country is going to have to go through the Architectural Review Board just to get approval. Basically, what was going on is they tried to just, have a little bit more requirements for some of these houses where people are trying to build bigger houses on an acre lot, and just kind of making sure that the house isn't too big for the lot that it's on, and just kind of keeping more of a consistent style with some of the bigger houses being built right now. And for the most part, the neighborhoods are gorgeous. The homes, are reasonable for the lots they're on. I mean, they're big, yes, but you will see a couple instances where it's just like this massive over the top house on like a 1 acre lot, and it's like a 15,000 square foot house. So that was kind of what they were trying to cut back on with some of the newer ordinances. But I'd say most of the neighborhoods are pretty well done as far as the homes, the setback, the space between neighbors is pretty good. Don't get me wrong, this is not the kind of area where you're going to see some of the kind of boxy, cookie cutter, new construction areas. Everything in Town and Country is much more custom and like big. Some of these estates are less than a couple years old, and then there are some neighborhoods where a lot of these bigger houses are maybe 20 to 30 years old. So you got a good range between how old the houses are here, but overall you will see a lot of newer stuff in Town and Country. Now, right in the middle of Town and Country at Clayton Road and Mason Road is the town center. So this is a cute kind of little shopping center in the middle of Town and Country. There's a Straub's, there's a Starbucks, there's some local stores right there. And actually a couple years ago, they added on to this with the town square. So right next to the town center, you have the town square. So they added a couple new shops, pavilion, walking trails, this pond right there, and they've got this kind of amphitheater for concerts. So during the summertime, they have weekly concerts in Town and Country. Really fun to check out. And like I said, it's very outdoorsy, very walkable. So a lot of the sidewalks will go right to the town center from the neighborhoods around. So you'll see people just walking from their houses to the town center for some live music during the summertime. And the summer concert series is just one example of some of the fun events you will see in Town and Country. There's actually a link on their website if you want to go and see their newsletters. They have like a monthly newsletter that they send out just going over local news, anything with the city, major happenings, events coming up, stuff like that. And it's cute. The town center is very charming, but it's not the biggest shopping center in Town and Country. Actually, if you go all the way towards the west of Town and Country, right next to the border with Chesterfield, right at Clayton and 141, Town and Country Crossing. So that's kind of the bigger shopping area in Town and Country. That's where you've got Target, Schnucks grocery store, Whole Foods, there's an REI, there's Home Goods, and there's also a bunch of restaurants right in that area along Clayton Road. So, I mean, some of my favorites like Katie's Pizza and Cooper's Hawk, amazing. Those are some of my go-tos in Town and Country. I mean, that's just one of the great things about living here. Like, you got shopping nearby, you are close to Manchester, so if you go a little bit down south, Manchester's got all your big brand chains along there. If you go a little bit further north, Creve Coeur, Olive Boulevard, a lot of stuff there. Like a 15-minute drive to downtown Clayton from Town and Country. So that's a great part about being like literally right smack in the middle of St. Louis County. You're very central, whether you're going east into the city or if you're going out west towards Chesterfield. Town and Country is very accessible. And in terms of school district, most of Town and Country is going to be part of the Parkway West School District. There's a little bit north of 6440 that's technically Town and Country in the Parkway Central School District. Both highly rated school districts, they're very popular, and the schools are just another aspect of Town and Country that bring a lot of people to the area. Now, in terms of the houses you'll see here, anything on the lower end of the price spectrum might be an older ranch or a split level. You do have a couple of these kind of condo and villa associations in Town and Country. You got a couple of these gated communities. And then really a lot of the stuff in Town and Country is single family homes, ranging from the 500, 600s all the way up into the multi-million-dollar range for anything newer built, custom estates, bigger homes for sure. Definitely is one of the most expensive parts of St. Louis. So if you're looking at Ladue, Clayton, Frontenac, those are also going to be up there in terms of price. All sorts of styles. I mean, you'll see some of the newer modern farmhouse, some of the more traditional country estates. I mean, you will see some of these houses like unbelievable. I love the homes in Town and Country, if you can't tell. And hey, again, if you're moving to the area, if you want some help with that process, just shoot us a message, regardless of budget, regardless of where you're looking. You know, it doesn't have to be Town and Country. We'd love to help you with that. But outside of that, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Hope you take care. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video on the Living St. Louis channel.